other side, you got your two kids with Jarred and with Julio. I don't know that we've fully seen the complement of everything they can do. Where are we at with Julio, and especially all the breaking balls that he's seen? What are you seeing from Julio?
I admire the way that Julio is handling this. He's had a particularly difficult, first dozen games in the big leagues in a lot of ways, most especially the propensity for seeing a breaking ball and frankly, the width of the strike zone has been a little bit challenging. And he's handled it really well. He handles it. He smiles. He understands that this too shall pass. He shakes his head. I'm very pleased with the way he's played on his homestand. He's showing you all the things he can do. He's played good defense. He's getting his hits. He's coming up with a couple of key hits, taking the walk when it's there. And, eventually the strikeout number is going to come down when the strike zone shrinks a little bit. And eventually he will get fastballs to hit when all of a sudden those balls that are, 4-6 inches off the plate are no longer strikes and they have to come back over the plate. So, I'm very confident in where Julio is and emotionally how he's handling this. And I'm thrilled with the homestand that Jarred's had. He, after a fairly slow start through Minnesota, it started to click for him that last day in Chicago. And I think he's had a really nice homestand.
Yeah.
Mostly smart at bats. He's hit the ball hard. I think he's playing a really good right field, and it's coming together. They're young guys with huge upside.
We were talking about Jarred yesterday. First, I find him fascinating, and it seems like he's not necessarily what people think he is. I've found that people seem to think he's kind of a meathead, or I don't think he's that at all. I think he is a really smart, introspective, thoughtful, and obviously baseball smart and analytical kind of a guy. And he's been really transparent about needing to relax and needing to not grip the bat so tight. And I'm worried that people are starting to think that that's like something that if he can't overcome, it's a bad thing for his personality to hurt his career. If he does put it together, won't that edginess and intensity just magnify and make the team so much better?
Oh, I think so. And Jarred and I have talked about that. It's just a matter of channeling your intensity in the right direction. And some of the great players that I've watched over the last, couple of decades have that intensity, and they're able to take it to a different level. Some of the great players in the game today, Bryce Harper stands out as one of those guys. And Jarred has that kind of intensity on a field in how he works and really in how he thinks about his job. He's about as focused a player, and on an age not even considered. He's about as focused a player as you're ever going to see. And sometimes he needs to stand off the gas a little bit and just let it happen. But his care factor, his work ethic, and his raw intelligence, you said it. I mean, JK's a smart guy, and he understands what he's doing. And, I think once he allows himself to enjoy it sometimes, that's the key. And right now, I think you're seeing it. This homestand, it's, he's meshing and he's together with the other guys. You see it in the outfield after the wins. And like everybody else on the team, he loves to win. And winning makes it a lot easier to show up the next day with a little bit, lighter feel to you.
Yeah, I see a little Bregman there as well. Maybe some Josh Donaldson. I've pointed out Pedroia has been. He seems like when he really gets it going, the other 29 teams in the league are going to despise him. And I love that. I think that sounds like, I can't really think of a Mariners player in my memory that other teams have really maybe worked up a dislike for. And I think that sounds great. I'm all in for that.
Again, we talked about it with the championship teams have the Adam Fraziers. They've also got the guy with the edge. And we've talked about this before when it comes to, clubhouse culture and the way your team is built, and especially leadership. It's never one guy. People always want to point to one guy because there's the magic unicorn that is occasionally Derek Jeter. More often, the club's culture or their personality and the leadership comes from a variety of different guys. And sometimes it's the guy with the intense grind like a Jarred Kelenic. Sometimes it's the guy with the affable, big personality like a Julio Rodriguez. Sometimes it's the quiet stoic who just goes about his job like a pro, like Adam Frazier or Mitch Haniger. Those guys really come together to create the leadership of a team, and I think they're going to be key to ours.